All right, welcome back to another game of what is this? Precision Baseball. Sorry. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I'm the designer and creator of Precision Baseball. And in this game, we're going to be highlighting the 2025 season set, which just came out. You can purchase it at clarkandaddisongaming.com. Right on the front page under the new releases, you should see the 2025 Precision Baseball set. For $12, you get basically every player that got into a major league game. It's around 1,700 plus players, and they're all carded, as you can see the cards here. So this is what a batting card looks like. Let's see that. We're going to have the Braves at the Giants, and this is pitching card for Logan Webb. So you can see that card there. The card has everything you need to play. You'll get everything that's included here, all of the batters and extra pitchers. I only printed off a couple of sheets for each team, so I don't have every single player available. But if you're doing a replay, you can be assured that you have everybody that got into a game. You can't see it over here, but this is going to be our ballpark chart card sheet, I guess is what you would say, because it's a whole sheet. We use this for hits, singles, doubles, triples, home runs, and then it gives us a little bit of narrative. There's also some extra plays there that we can make as well, like robbing home runs. We have our what happens base running on a ground ball chart, line drives, fly balls, runner advancement on hits to the outfield. So these are, when a hit is made to the outfield, what do? We have our trail runners on here as well. I like to just print that front and back because you're not going to use everything most of the time. So it's not a pain in the neck to have to flip that over. And then we have our strategy plays for the offense. There are strategy plays for the defense as well. If you want to implement those, things like guarding the lines, playing infield in, double play depth, that type of thing, that's in the game guide and is covered there. And there's also a sheet that you should print out probably at the beginning when you're learning the game. It gives you a rundown of everything, how to do each of the different plays. So it's sort of a primer, like a one-page primer about how to do each of the things. It kind of walks you through, how do you do the stealing process? How do you do these things? So until you get that down, it's good to have that sheet out. I mean, every once in a while, it's good for me. I even have to look back at some more obscure things. And then finally, we have all of the gameplay charts, mostly the player finder and the error, which you're going to be using all the time. But on the front side, we have all of our stealing and base running. And then I usually print 2 pages, and on the back side, you have all of your fielding. So double plays and grounded into double plays, those are 2 different sort of things. Double plays focus on the fielder. Grounded into double play sort of puts the onus on the base runner, and those come up on the ground balls sheet. We have range plays, which do come up on a 3 of a kind on a specific role. We have an outfield arm chart. So if a player is tagging up or trying to score, and the base runner's run rating is greater than the outfielder's arm rating, we'll use this one. Vice versa, we'll use the base running one. So one puts the onus on the outfielder because he's sort of behind. It's a lot harder to throw somebody out off of this chart than the base running chart. And so depending on who sort of has the edge in that matchup, we use a different chart. And then we can rob home runs here, which you see green is a catch, so there's not a whole lot of catches on there, but robbing a home run should be difficult. But that's based off of your player's range and based off of his ability to get back to a ball and his fielding ability. So the game makes a lot of sense. We have our pitching. It's kind of a play mat here that has both of our pitchers on here. This is for stamina. On stamina, and you got a little primer here too. You get a -1 for every batters faced, so it'll feel very similar to other games, and it's a little bit more like maybe Not as much like replay, more like Status Pro, but it has some other elements mixed in. You get a -1 for a batter face, -1 for a walk. So if you walk somebody, that's -1 plus a -1 is -2. You get a -1 for making more starts than actual, which is like, that's basically you start at -1. And so for every start in a replay, every start past is actual starts, which you'll have to look up game started because I don't have that on their cards. But every start past is game started. You'll start him out with -1. So for Chris Sale, he's a 24. If he had 2 starts more than his actual, then he would start that second start at 22 instead of 24. Just kind of simulate the season wearing you down. You get +1 for a strikeout, +1 for a 1-2-3 inning, +1 for a double play, +1 if nobody scores when the bases are loaded. That doesn't matter how many outs. It's where the bases loaded at the end of the inning and you got out of it. That's an extra +1. And then if you need to do a mound visit, you get a +1, and you can use those mound visits strategically to keep your player, quote unquote, in the matchup. And you'll see how the matchups work here. But if the player goes down to 0, the pitcher goes down to 0, you can either use that as a sign to take them out, or you can leave them in. But everything comes off of the batter card at that point. Nothing will come off the pitcher card until he gets back above 0, which is possible because you can't go below 0. So if he were to do something really good, then maybe his stamina can go back up to 0. So if he were to strike somebody out or have a double play or something like that, he could go back up to 1. So maybe you'll see that in this one. We'll just have to see how this goes. We're playing with the DH, so we can leave the pitchers in maybe a little bit longer than normal. All right, we have 3 D10 dice. We'll read them red, white, and blue, just like this. It'll be a number designated hundreds, tens, and ones, and we'll read a 1 to 1,000 roll for that. And then we have a D20. This will be used for the pitcher matchups and for the ballpark hit results. The rest of it, we'll get into it. We have the managers over here whenever we need them. The managers show us, are they aggressive, cautious, or normal at taking extra bases? And then this is kind of for you if you want to have a guide for how a manager would handle things like stealing second and third, or intentional walks, or bringing in pinch hitters or runners, how many pitchers per game. So you can see here, Dave Roberts likes to bring in a lot of pitchers, so he's got a kind of a quick hook. But Ray Montgomery of the Angels has a slow hook. So you can see that. Most people are normal. You just kind of bring them in as their situation warrants. But Dave Roberts, if you want to simulate the way that he manages, you can look at that and kind of simulate that. So let's get into this one. I think we'll wind up covering a bunch of other stuff as we go along. And it takes about an hour and 15 minutes to play a game. So let's move into this. And whenever we have the batter, pitcher, I'm doing this because we have a lot of new subscribers. So you can go to the Precision Baseball tutorial and you can find out a lot of these things as well here on the channel. So we have here, you can see everything is built out by splits. So versus left-handed and versus right-handed is the red on every card. You can see that right and left. So what we need to do is we need to get the matchup. We have a right-hander versus a right-hander. So versus right-handed batters, Logan Webb is a -6. Versus right-handed pitchers, Ronald Acuna Jr. is a +2. I have created these lineups. These are not actual. Some of these players may not have even played on the field together. So I just took the ones that I had and made a team. So what we do is we want to add 2 and -6. That gives us a -4. So 2 plus -6 is -4. And really what we're trying to do here is to decide, based on the strength of each batter and their ability to control the at-bat or to do well, basically, against pitchers or batters, how do they match up? And then based on this, that gives them kind of a weighted one way or the other on the D20 roll. So it's no guarantee that just because Logan Webb is stronger than Acuna, that he's going to win every time. But it kind of weights everything toward him winning. And so what we're going to do is we have -4. And then every at-bat starts with the assumption that 1 to 10 equals the batter card, 11 to 20 equals the pitcher card. So we kind of start with that assumption of a 50-50 roll. But because of this comparison here, we have a -4. We're going to subtract 4 from Ronald Acuna's ability to control the at-bat. So instead of 1 to 10, it becomes 1 to 10 -4, which is 1 to 6. So 1 to 6 will come off Acuna's card. 7 to 20 will come off of Logan Webb's card. And so that sort of interaction between the batter and the pitcher happens on every play. And that's why we're rolling the D20. I'm going to roll the D20 with the 3 D10 dice because the 3 D10 dice we're going to go right off of that player card. So every player has a 1 to 1,000 roll here, depending on who they're facing. So Webb will be facing a right-handed batter. So we're looking at this red part of the column. And you can see it's ground balls, fly balls, line drives, strikeouts, walks, hit by pitch, and hits. If it's a hit off a pitcher card, we're going to go over to the batter card, and then we'll use this section over here. Ronald is facing a right-hand pitcher, so we'll use this column here. And you can see that it corresponds with singles, doubles, triples, and home runs. So if it's a hit off the pitcher card, it comes back to the batter card, and we use his hits. So this is his hit mix based on how his singles, doubles, triples, and home runs happen in real life on a hit. And then for his card, we have the same thing: ground ball, fly ball, line drive, everything down to hit by pitch, and then hits also come off of here. So the batters control hit type, and then if we have a hit, it can tell us over here on the hit chart for the ballpark. It'll tell us like what's the quality of the hit, where did it go on the field, and in many instances, like who picked it up. So that's how it goes. There are some little things along the way. Hopefully I catch them all. On a ground ball, fly ball, line drive, you'll roll off of this chart here. So ground ball, fly ball, line drive. You have another 1 to 1,000 roll that tells you where it goes there. And then I like to roll for errors on every single play. That way, every put out gives us an opportunity. I don't always remember that on the to do it on the hits, but you can do that on all the hits except for a home run, obviously. All right, let's just get this one going. We'll see everything play out as we go along. So for Logan Webb, we've already calculated this. A 1 to 6 is off of Acuna's card. A 7 to 20 on this D20 roll goes to Logan Webb. We have a 14, so you can see there that we have 14. So that means we're going to look at Logan Webb's card. We read it red, white, and blue. Obviously, that's 864. If we look over here in the red, 775 to 1,000 is a hit off of Acuna's card. So then we roll this again. And I like to roll the D20 just because it's going to go to the ballpark card. 762 against a righty is going to be a triple. So 753. 753 to 765. You can see that very well. That's going to be a triple because it's here with the triples. And Ronald Acuna right off the bat with a triple. And when we look here on our ballpark result, you can see that the center fielder, so on a triple, on a 20, the center fielder collides with the wall and the ball is rolling around. You can try for an inside the park home run if you want to. I'm just going to leave it at a triple as Ronald Acuna leads off the game with a 3-bagger as he stands at first base. So that's -1 for the batter. So you get accustomed. There's a lot of moving parts in this game, but you kind of get accustomed to the flow of each at-bat after a little bit. This game is highly detailed. This is not a fast play baseball game. So Now we have a new matchup, right? So against right-handed pitchers, Matt Olson is a +4. Against lefties, Logan Webb is a -3. So 4 minus 3 is +1. So 1 to 10 plus 1 equals 1 to 11. That's going to go to Matt Olson. We have a 6. So the control goes to Matt Olson. And then we have a 9, 0, 8. And that smells like a home run. We'll see. It's not. 897 to 947 is a double. And then we roll to see what happened. That's going to be a line drive off the right field wall as he hits one off the bricks. And he winds up at second base. That's an RBI double as he drives in Ronald Acuna Jr. So right off the bat, the Braves get it rocking against Logan Webb. Webb had a particularly difficult start. Game 1 against the Yankees this season. And we'll see how he bounces back. So man at second base, nobody out. 16, that's going to go, I can already tell from the matchup, so it's 0-0 with Austin Riley, and -3, -6. So for Logan Webb, I can already tell that that's going to be, at 16, that Riley is not going to win that matchup. So you kind of get used to just kind of glancing at things, and if it's like 15 to 20, it's most likely going to be to the pitcher. If it's kind of close, you need to figure it out, but otherwise you can figure these things out pretty quickly. So 337 off of Logan Webb's card against a right-hander. 337 is a fly ball. And on our player finder, that fly ball goes to center field, and then we do an error check. 669, not a 3 of a kind. Anytime a 3 of a kind comes up, you should perk up, because there are different things that happen on a 3 of a kind. But for 669, that's not an error. Anything above 213, so 213 to 1,000 for this particular season, that changes for every season. But anything 213 to 1,000 is going to be no error. You can see that the errors stop at 212. So, and when we get one close enough to check, I'll show you how we do that. It's based off of the player's error rating on the card. So that's going to be a fly ball to center field. And when we have a fly ball to the outfield, we should always check the depth. So we have fly balls and runner advancement on fly balls to the outfield. So it's a fly ball to center field. We have a runner at second base, 860. Runner at second base here. 860 falls right here. And that's going to be yellow, means it's a gamer's decision. So kind of a deep fly ball. It's not to the warning track where you might be able to tag up and just go, but it's your choice whether you want to move to third base or not. Now, there are a couple things to check. One is the center fielder. The center fielder is Lee. His arm rating is a 1, and that's really what we're looking at on a fly ball that's caught in the air. His arm rating is a 1. Olson's running rating is a 4, and we can see that on his card. He has 2 different running ratings. So you have a steal rating on one side, and then you have a running rating on the other side. You use the running for the base running. So he's not a great base runner. And because this is a +1, that's good. So we're going to take that and we're going to say -4 minus +1. And that's going to give us -5. And when we look on our tag up sheet, so base running, we use this base running chart for tag ups and extra bases. You can see his column would be -1 to -5. This is less than -5. So you can see green is going to be safe. So if he tries to tag up, he's got between a 211 and a 710. So that's about 50%. So you think about those, you divide them by 10. And so that's, so 101 to 210 is 1%. 10% to 21%. So that's kind of how you think about those things. So from here, we have 211, which is 21%, to 71%. So 21 plus 50 is 71. So you get about 50% chance for him to be safe. And with one out and immediately order up, I'm not going to risk that. But it does cost us one on the out. So one out. Runner at second base. One RDN. Marcell Ozuna to the plate against Webb. So Webb, again, it's a 1-6 for Marcell Ozuna to control. We have 19, so that's pretty high. So you kind of assume that's the pitcher. Just because the pitcher controls doesn't mean that it's going to be good. I mean, if Logan Webb has more things come off his card, it's going to be good. Same for Chris Sale, because they're good pitchers. But if it's a bad pitcher, even if he wins control the at bat, he may not do well. We just have to see. So 812 is going to be another hit. Remember, 775 to 1000 is going to be a hit. So this is some sort of hit as Webb struggling out of the gate. 817 against a righty is going to be a home run. And so we have a fly ball into the left center field stands as Ozuna cranks one out to left center, and that's a 3-0 lead for the Bravos. So good guys jumping out here as he drives in. He drives in two. It's now 3-0, and Ozzie Albies to the plate. Now, Albies is a pinch hitter, not a pinch hitter, a switch hitter. So against a right-hander, he's going to bat left-handed. So we have to really kind of pay attention here. He's a +3 to either one. So that's nice to have. Webb against a left-handed bat because he's switch hitting. So is a -3. Albies is a +3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. So again, we stay with our 1 to 10, 11 to 20. Nothing changes there. They're sort of equal, so to speak. 668, again, almost a 3 of a kind. Kind of pay attention to that. 668 on a 20. That's off of Logan Webb's card. So 668 against a lefty. And you can see here, so we're looking at the left-hand column, 668 falls into his K range. So that's going to be a strikeout for Logan Webb as he gets Ozzie Albies for out number 2. Now we go 1 for the batter and 1 for the +1 on the strikeout. So basically a strikeout is nothing. But if a strikeout leads to a 1-2-3 inning, you do 1 for the batter, 1 for the strikeout, 1 for the 1-2-3 inning. So you can actually, that number is dynamic. So it can actually move up and down during the game. Jurickson Profar against a righty is a +2. Webb against a lefty, because Profar is a switch hitter. He's a -3. So 2 minus 3 is -1. So instead of 1 to 10, it's 1 to 9 per control for Profar. 15 means it comes off the pitcher. 456 against a lefty is going to be another strikeout. So he gets Jurickson Profar with the third out, and that will end the inning. But the Braves do put up 3. They get an RBI double from Matty Olson. Again, that strikeout is going to be -1 for the batter, +1 for the strikeout. They get a double from Matt Olson to score Acuna, and a 2-run homer from Marcell Ozuna, and they take a 3-0 lead. So we go to the bottom of the first. It'll be Lee, Jung-Hoo Lee, and Adames, and then Devers is hitting third against Chris Sale. Chris Sale, you have to kind of read between the numbers because on the player cards we have them split out, but we don't have totals on here. So you got to kind of read between the numbers to get their totals. But you can see here we have versus right-handers here and versus left-handers. So you can really see how the player performs, how they got to where they're sort of an advantage or not an advantage against these players. This takes into account a lot of different factors, and I just tried to think about what stats can we look at to show whether a pitcher would be dominant in an at-bat or whether a batter would be dominant in an at-bat. And so it's looking at, things like for batters, it's hits, home runs, walks, strikeouts, things like that. For pitchers, it's FIP against, and these are all against the league average. So are they better than the league average or worse? And then there's sort of a formula that goes into weighting those things. And then I judge those players -6 to +6 for the different players. So positive is good for a batter, minus is good for a pitcher. And then we weight those and apply those ratings -6 to +6. So yeah, that's how it works. A very sophisticated system. A little bit more complex than most baseball games, but I'm really trying to figure out, like, based off of this individual player and his ability, how would he be against another pitcher? So it's not just a straight 50-50 system. It's actually figuring out a winner first, and then we go straight off the card, which it feels like a 50-50 system, but that actually changes the math. And so I don't have to weight the player cards. I can just do straight player cards because we do the weighting, quote unquote, in the matchup. So if that makes sense, you can look it up. 18 basically is going to come off the batter card. Doesn't matter. These two are pretty strong. Against left-handed pitching, Lee is a +1. Against left-handed batting, Sale is a -4. So 1 to 7, Lee controls is definitely an 18. And so we go 7-0-6 against a lefty is going to be into Chris Sale's strikeout range, which makes a lot of sense, right? He's going to be tough against left-handers. And we can see how tough. 282 FIP. He's got 25 innings pitched where he was facing left-handers, 33% K percentage against lefties, a little higher walk percentage, and he tends to induce more ground balls and fewer fly balls. But his whip overall is better against left-handers. So that can really help you whenever you're trying to determine who to bring in. You can see how batters have batted against a particular handedness, and you can see how pitchers have pitched against a particular handedness. So whether you're setting your lineup against a starter or you're deciding who to bring in late in the game, those kind of things can help you as far as pinch hitting, bringing in new pitchers as well, relievers. All right. Against Adames a 0, but he's a right-handed batter, so it's a -6. So 10 -6 is 4, so 1 to 4 is to Willy Adames, even though this is a low roll. Chris Sale tends to dominate right-handers, which is a little bit of a reverse split kind of thing going on with him, but he's got that slider, which is killer. 771 against Adames, who is a right-handed player. 771 will be a hit by pitch. So he plunks Willy Adames. Goes down to first. So Adames at first. He steals at a 0. And if we want to look at the stealing, I can see this third column here is for double play rating and arm rating for pitchers. For catchers and outfielders. So behind the plate is Baldwin, the rookie of the year. He had a tough throwing year, so he's a -3. Minus is worse than average, right? These are on a sort of against the average basis. So -3 is worse than average. And we have Willy Adames, who's a 0 running. And our pitcher has a hold of -2. So a -2 is not a good hold. Again, it's against the average, so lower is worse, higher is better. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to add the hold and the catcher together. That's a -5, -2, -3 is -5. And then our formula to figure out base running is going to be the runner's stealing rating, which is a 0 here. So Adames, I'll just show you where it is on the card. So again, our steal rating is here. I like to write those right onto the score sheet. But he's got a 0 steal rating, and we say 0 minus whatever the battery is. So the catcher plus the pitcher. So catcher hold plus, pitcher hold plus catcher arm, which is a -5. So 0 minus a -5 is going to be 0 plus 5. And so that gives us a 5. Now, when we're looking at stealing second base, he goes from this column here where he's a 0 to this column here where he's a +3. And that's because the pitcher doesn't hold well, the catcher doesn't throw well. So he gets a better percentage here. So he goes from, 21% to 93. So that's about 70 plus 10. About 80%. I'm sorry. It's 21 to 93. That's about 70-something% plus another extra 0.3. So about 70-something%. He goes to 10 to 98. So about 70. No, what is that? 88%. So he's almost guaranteed a steal here. Sorry about that. So he's almost guaranteed a steal. We're going to go ahead and send him. Whenever we do a steal, we are going to use the 3. So when we roll, 891 puts him into a good green percentage here. So it's high, but it falls into here. Green means safe. And so because of the battery, it's going to be a little bit easier for players to steal, especially if they have, even average stealing ability. So stolen base for Willy Adames. You can see on here how much did a player run. Against lefties, he only attempted 2 stolen bases. Against righties, he attempted 14. But again, because Chris Sale is easy to run on, you might see a few more here. So Rafi Devers to the plate with a man in scoring position. Devers against lefties is a +1. Sale against lefties is a -4. That equals -3. So 1 to 10 -3 is 1 to 7. We have a 4, so that's going to come off Devers' card. 841 against a lefty is going to be a single. And so where does that go? It's an infield hit. So it's important to know, as he hits a little dinker on the infield. And the runner will move up to third. So we have runners at first and third with 1 out. So still an opportunity here for a double play to get out of this. It's Matt Chapman to the plate. Chapman, not great against lefties, 224 average, 674 OPS. He puts the ball in play more than against righties, but we have a 1 that's almost always going to be off of the batter card. 047 against a lefty is a ground ball. So we may get that double play that we're looking for. That's going to be a grounder to first base. And so now we need to check to see if there's an error first. 217 is no error. 213 to 1000 is no error. So Matt Olson makes the play. If that's an error, there's no need to go through all this next step. He just makes a 1-base error. But we go to our ground balls. Normal depth, we have infield in, so you'd use this chart, infield in. And then on the back also is to the catcher or the pitcher, normal depth. We also have these, this key here. It's at the end of the pitcher one, and it tells you what all these special symbols up here mean and how to translate that. But we have a grounder to the first baseman. We have runners at first and third, which is here. You can see. And so we're going to use this column. So we're going to roll against this column and see what happens on the play. 694. So 694 is here, kind of a common roll. And you can see here that it's a 363 DP. If it was a question mark, we would have to roll to see if it was a double play. But when it just says 363 DP, that's automatic. The calculation here in the parentheses is if there are 2 outs. So if there were 2 outs, he would go to second base, kind of ranging to his right, and makes a throw to second base for a 3-6 put out. And then if there are less than 2 outs, which is what the housetop means, if there's less than 2 outs, then the runner would score. I'm sorry, if on a double play, if there were no outs, and then there was a 3-6-3 double play, that run would score. That's what the asterisk means. But with 1 out, 3-6-3 double play gets us out of the inning. And nice turn there from Matty Olson as they go 3-6-3. We get the fielder's choice here. Out number 2, out number 3, and that's all she wrote for the Giants. All right, so Chapman grounds into a double play that ends the inning. So for Chris Sale, we get the batter space for -1 and a 1. For a double play, you're going to get a +1. So basically, he doesn't move off of that, similar to a strikeout. All right, we go to the top of the second inning. The game does not move this slowly. I'm literally explaining everything along the way and kind of pointing it out to you. So Drake Baldwin to the plate against Logan Webb. He is going to be even Steven. So 1-10 off of Baldwin's card. 204 against a righty is going to be a ground ball. And that's it to the third baseman. No error on the play and no error on the throw. So I like to do a couple of different error checks on the catch and the throw. So that will be Chapman with a good throw over to first. Gets Drake Baldwin for out number 1. Mike Harris, Money Mike to the plate. Hit a home run last night in game number 1. We have a 16. That's going to be off of Logan Webb's card. 853, another hit off of the batter. This could be trouble, as a 990 or 969 against a right-hander is going to be a bomb, as he hits it off the fair pole down the left field line, and Money Mike drills one to the opposite field. He takes that fastball that runs to the outside corner and hits one out. That gives the Braves a 4-0 lead early in this one. Nick Allen to the plate, not a strong hitter. This will go off of his card, however, and that will be a 178 against a righty. Is a ground ball. And that ground ball goes to the shortstop. 529, no problem, is short, as he gets his man at first, and that'll be out number 2. Again, once you learn, like anything above 213, is going to be no error. There's no need to even look at that chart, because you can't have an error if it goes above that. So back to the top of the order with Ronald Acuna Jr. He tripled and scored on the Matty Olson double back in the first. We get a 9. If you remember, Ronald Acuna is going to be a 1-6 to control. So 7-17 for Webb against a right-hander is a walk. So he walks Ronald. That's going to be 1 for the batter, 1 for the walk. So he takes a -2 hit there. Brings up Matty Olson. Olson with a double. His first time up. Acuna is a -1, but Bailey is a +2, and Logan Webb is a +2. So that would be 1 minus a +4, which is 1 - 4, which puts him at a -3, which that gives him about a 10, no, what is that? About a 35% chance of getting to second base. That's not enough for me. Not with Matty Olson up there batting, especially. So against lefties, Webb is a -3. Olson is a +4, so that gives him a 1-11 to control. So it's off the pitcher. 973. Again, that's going to be a hit, as he keeps leaving it and not executing well, but he's leaving balls out over the plate. 787 against a righty is going to be another double for Matty O. This time it is a line drive, a a ground ball into left center field, so it gets past the shortstop and gets out into center or left center field. So Matty Olson chugs into second with another double. We'll see if he drives in the run or not. We're going to send the runner, and that's where our base running runner advancement on hits to the outfield comes into play. So Brian Snitker, when we look at his aggressiveness, Snitker, they're aggressive first to third. They're cautious first to home, which is what we're looking at. So we're looking at first to home. And you can see here, this is this column here. And then that's built out into aggressive, normal, and cautious. We have cautious. And our runner is Acuna. He's a +1. Because the ball is hit on the ground, we need to figure out our who is the person who picks it up. Left center field could be the left fielder or the center fielder. 1 to 10 is the left fielder. So that's going to be the left fielder. And that will be Ramos, Elliot Ramos. And for Ramos, we need to take his range, which is -11. We need to add that to his arm, which is +3. So we get a -8. So because he has to go to the ball and get the ball on a ground ball, I like to do the range. So how much range does he have? How quickly does he get to balls? Plus the arm. So it's both how quickly do you get to the ball, and when you get there, how strong is your arm throwing it? So it makes some sense to do both of those together. So we have a -8. For Acuna, his running is a 1. And then we compare those 1 minus 8 is 1 minus a -8. That's the formula is 1 minus a -8. So -8 should add to your running. So that gives us a +9 overall. And here, +9 on our base running is 361 to 710. So it's about a 35, I'm sorry, it should be here. 101 to 930 is going to be safe. So we get the relay. I'm sorry. No, we should just be using this chart straight off. Sorry about that. 1 to a -1, they're going to hold them for anything except the right field line because they're cautious. So they may not have normally, but the outfielder gets the ball. I'm sorry. On a hit, we're using this this chart here, and if we had a question mark, we could use that calculation. But as it is, for a guy who's running at a 1, then that's going to be a hold. You could do that calculation and figure out, are they a +5 on that? But I'll just stick with their running rating as it's written. Anyway, sorry about taking you on that detour. But next up is going to be Austin Riley. So maybe that's just he didn't get a good jump or something like that, or maybe they're, again, they're cautious whenever they do that. If they had been anything but cautious, you can see here on a 1, a ball to left center. If they were aggressive, they would have sent them first to home. It would have a question mark, and we could have sent them. So just depends on what the team does. We should drop one there. Austin Riley to the plate. Riley flied out in his first at bat. 16 is going to go off of Logan Webb's card. 488 against a righty is going to be a strikeout. So being cautious costs them because that's the third out of the inning, and they strand 2. They do get 1 on the Harris home run. And the strikeout doesn't move him. So it'll be Elliot Ramos, Flores, and Matos for the Giants in the bottom of the second. They're down 4-0. Logan Webb, not a great start here, but we get +1 against a -6. So 1 to 5 to control for the batter. You can see the batters aren't going to control very many unless they're very strong batters against Chris Sale, which is what we would expect, right? 294 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That goes to right field and is caught in right field. We're out number 1. Ramos with a can of corn out to Ronald. Brings up Wilmer Flores. Off sales card again. 446. Flores is a righty, and 446 is a strikeout. So strikeout number 2 for Chris Sale. And out number 2. Luis Matos to the plate. 9 is going to go to Chris Sale as well. 696 against a righty is going to be another strikeout. So that's a strikeout. So he doesn't move on the strikeout, right? It's -1, +1. And then because it's a 1-2-3 inning, he gets another +1 on his stamina. I count that as like a psychological boost, right? So when you're out there, you're dealing, you're getting a lot of 1-2-3 innings. 1, your pitch count's not going to be as high, so you get a little bit of extra stamina. 2, even though it takes more pitches to get a strikeout, it's kind of this emotional boost. Giving up a lot of walks is kind of this deflating sort of situation for a pitcher, so it costs them in their stamina. So this dynamic stamina is really interesting. You get down to like 10 batters, or you get down to 10 on their stamina, and they could stay there for a little while if they have some success. We don't do anything like, does the pitcher have his best stuff or anything like that, which is kind of what you're trying to simulate is the quality of the start, right? But we don't have any of that in here. But this dynamic system really means that every single start is going to be different for every pitcher. And if they throw true to their card, it'll be similar, but it won't be the same for every start. So kind of a cool little system that's built into there. All right. For the Bravos in the top of the third, they leave 4-0. It'll be Ozuna, Albies, and Profar. We get a 4. This is going to come off of Ozuna's card. A 134 against a righty is a grounder. That will be hit to second base. 735. Nice pickup at second. And the throw to first is good. So Ozuna out for out number 1. Ozzy Albies to the plate. 13, that's going to go to Webb. So a 930, though, is into the hit range. So it's another hit off of the batter card. 652 against a righty is going to be a single for Albies. That seems odd. I have to look at that. I have to look at that for Albies. Okay, so that doesn't seem right, but we're going to go with it. So 652 against a righty is going to be a single. We'll call that a ground ball into left center field. And when the ball is hit into left center field, right center field, down the left field line or down the right field line, I like to give batters the option for taking an extra base. Now, the way you do that is the same as whenever we were figuring out the outfielder's range plus his arm rating. So we're looking at left center field. Who picks it up? It's the left fielder again. So that's Ramos. -11 + 3 is -8. And then you would add that to, or you would compare it to Ozzy Albies. So -8, and you compare it to Albies' running rating. That gives Albies the advantage. And so whenever Albies has the advantage, the base runner has the advantage. We use the outfield arm chart because it's harder to get people out. You can see the green is the out and everything else is safe. So when the runner has the advantage, we use the outfield arm. When the outfielder has the advantage, we use the tagging up extra bases. So this allows you to kind of have a dynamic interplay between the outfielder. But as it is, his outfield arm is -8, so he only has a 31 to 100 chance of throwing out Albies a second. Albies will take that. So he takes off, he forces the issue. 686 is right here, And so you can see it's in the red, and that means safe. So Albie's testing out the arm of Elliot Ramos. Good arm, but it takes him a while to get there, so he's going to wind up with a hustle double right out of the box. Jurickson Profar to the plate. Jurickson Profar, 20 comes off of Logan Webb's card. 0-26 against a lefty is going to be a grounder. And that ground ball is hit to second base. It's picked up, and the throw is good. So that's going to be another 4-3 put out. The runner is going to go. Hit the second base, runner at first. Runner at second base. We got to see what happens on the play. Let's do that. Not automatic. 961. 961. 4-3 put out. And the runner goes to first. You can see that a 981 to 1,000 would be a misplay and everybody would be safe. Or maybe it's a little tapper or can't get out of his glove or, I don't know what it is. But everybody would be safe. But as it is, he moves over on the fielder's choice. Sorry, I should have used that chart right offhand. So Profar does the job of getting him to third base with 2 outs. And that brings up Drake Baldwin. Like I said, Rookie of the Year in 2025. 16, that'll come off of Webb's card. 464 against a lefty is a strikeout. So Logan Webb bears down, gets the K, and that's the third out of the inning. So he prevents that run from scoring. It's 4-0 Braves as we go to the bottom of the third. Chris Sale out there dominating. He's had 7 up, 7 down. Actually, not quite. So he's got a hit by pitch and a walk, but he erased them off of a double play. Sale will face off against Bailey Schmidt, and then back to the top of the order with Lee. A 5 is going to mean, so Bailey is hitting right-handed against lefties. He's a -1. Sale is a -6 against righties, and so that makes him a -7. So 10 minus 7 is 3. So a 1-3 is control for Patrick Bailey, and he doesn't get that. But this is going to be a hit off of Patrick Bailey's card. 572 against lefties is a base knock, and that's a line drive down the left field line as he gets it past Austin Riley. He runs at a -2, Bailey does, and our left fielder is Profar. Profar is a -14. Because he's a -2, I'm just going to kind of play that a little more realistically. Patrick Bailey probably not turning a base hit down the left field line into a double. Brings up Casey Schmidt. Schmidt with a runner at first base. This will come off of Chris Sale's card, 771 against a righty is a walk. So good start here for the Giants as Chris Sale running into a little trouble. It's going to be Jung-Hoo Lee with the at-bat. This will come off of the pitcher's card. 099 is going to be a grounder. So that'll be a ground ball to short. It is picked up by the shortstop. So let's see what happens on the play. So shortstop is here. This is the first one. We have runners at first and second. So a lot of double plays in here. Some checks for double plays. There's a 6-3 put out here, which is a fielder's choice at first with all runners advancing. There's a 6-5 opportunity here where you try to go for the runner at third base. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. 255. 255 is here. That's going to be a 6-4 double play chance. So we're going to go 6-4 and get the out. DP ? Means we're going to use the double play chart, which uses the fielder's rating. And then question mark means we need to check off of that chart. If it was just a DP, that would be automatic. It would tell you. But 6-4 is the automatic out. And then we got to see if there's a double play. So we use the DP chart, which is here. This uses the player's double play rating. I typically use the guy who catches the ball. So it's hit to the shortstop. Our shortstop is Allen. His DP rating is a 0. So you can see here, it's a double play on a 541 to 710. So that's about a 17% chance of a double play. So let's see what it is. 841. 841 clearly falls here into a red zone, which is a fielder's choice. So we go to second. That's all they're going to get. Maybe a little slow hit ball, maybe a bad throw to second base, but that's going to be a fielder's choice. So this guy is out. That'll be the first out of the inning. That allows the runner to get to third, and that allows the runner to get to first on a 6-4 fielder's choice. So they're unable to turn to Willy Adames to the plate with 1 out and runners on the corners. And let's see if Chris Sale can bear down. He is going to control this at bat, a 665. We keep getting close to that 3 of a kind. I'll show you what happens on that if we hit it. 665 against a righty is a strikeout, and that is clutch and huge from Chris Sale. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Devers to the plate. Do you intentionally walk Devers to pitch to Chapman or not? Devers, 298 average against righties, but he is not as strong against lefties. I guess he and Chapman are about the same. So let's go ahead and just pitch to him. Chris Sale against lefties is -4. So that makes it a 1-7 for Devers to control. It's a 20, comes off the pitcher, and wouldn't you know, 956 is going to be a hit for Devers. 654 against a lefty is a double, as a single is misplayed in left field, and that's going to turn into a double, and that is trouble. So that's going to score the runner from third as the Giants get on the board. He's going to go 2 bases. So the Giants, they have Bob Melvin. Melvin on first to home is going to be cautious. So I think that's going to be a hold. Let's just double check and make sure. So first to home, it's cautious. This base runner is a +4 though. So that changes the equation 1-5. If it's in left center field, which a ball is misplayed in left field, it's not down the line, so we'll just call it left field. So they're going to hold that. So we'll leave the runners at second and third. They're playing very cautiously there. And Devers, a single to left, misplayed by the left fielder, Profar, which he had a tendency to do that. He's not a great left fielder. Or he wasn't last year. I mean, I think he was decent before that, but didn't play well last year. Had a lot on his mind, I guess. Chris Sale against Matty Chapman. It's now 4-1, as we're going to give Devers the RBI there. It wasn't an error. It was just a misplay out there. It's like he took a bad angle or something like that. And so 15 against Chapman is going to go off of Chris Sale's card. A 295 against a righty is a fly ball, as Chapman gets under this one. That is hit to second base, so popped up. A 120 is a chance at an error. So when we look at this, our second baseman is Ozzie Albies. So when we look at Albies' card, we can see that he has an error rating of -3. You can see that his range is -4, but his error is -3. So then when we look at our chart for the errors, we're looking here at the error rating. So less than -1, that's where he is. He makes an error on a 165 to a 212. This is a 120, so that does not fall within that error range, 165 to 212. So he is going to make a good catch on a pop-up, and that's going to end the inning, so P4. So you can see the game is highly detailed, right? I mean, what I'm going for is precision. I'm trying to be as precise as possible using these players' actual stats to determine how good they are. The idea is not that it makes sense to you. Sometimes it's going to be like, well, he's a better fielder. Why is there less of a percentage of making an error? Because when I run the numbers based off of sabermetric ratings is the way I'm calculating these. So based off of the sabermetrics, sometimes a worse fielder actually has a better fielding percentage, if that makes sense. Because they get to fewer balls, better fielders get to more balls, which is going to lead to more errors. So that's just sometimes how it happens. So if you look at it and you're like, oh, that guy shouldn't be making as many errors as this guy, well, look at their stats. Because sometimes it does happen. A shortstop with great range is going to make more errors than a shortstop with poor range. That's just kind of how it happens. So my goal is to precisely represent baseball as much as possible. So that's what we're going for. All right, Mike Harris. Money Mike, in his first at-bat, had a home run against Logan Webb. Not sure if I moved that or not, so I'm going to move it. A 19 will come off Webb's card. 757 against a lefty is going to be a hit. And that comes off Mike's card. 116 against a righty is a single. And that's going to be a line drive into left center field. Again, this is a hit to left center field. So Harris has the option here. Let's see who picks up the ball. It's going to be the center fielder this time. So 1 to 11 would be the left fielder, or 1 to 10 would be the left fielder. 11 to 20 is the center fielder. When it goes out and kind of splits between those, we try to see who gets to the ball. So 1 to 20 is going to be the center fielder. That's Jung-Hoo Lee. He is a -1 against Harris, who is a +1. So he has every right to take an extra base. And then you need to look at his percentage of getting there. +1, 21 to 36% is, what is that? 15% chance of getting thrown out at second base. We're going to be aggressive, and we can look at that here as well, and we can kind of get a sense of that. Are they aggressive or not? So the Braves going, they tend to be aggressive first to third, second to home, cautious first to home, normal on trail runners. He's a +1 running. We got the bottom of the order. Let's go ahead and try. Money Mike's going to try to get to second base. He'll get there on a roll of 211 to 360. 211 to 360. 185, that is outside that range. So 185 is here. That's red, just outside that range. And red means safe. So he takes a chance on Jung-Hoo Lee, who is ranging to his right. Has to sort of backhand it and try to get as much as he can on the throw, but not able to. Sorry. That's a double. And a hustle double for Money Mike as Logan Webb goes down to 11 on his stamina. So the Braves with another runner in scoring position. It's time for Nick Allen. Let's go ahead and do a bunt here. Allen, not a great hitter. I want to try to make his out a productive out. We don't bunt a lot, but he's a 9-hole hitter. He should be able to do it. So we got a sacrifice bunt here. We're going to roll 1 to 1,000. We have all these different types of things that could happen on the play. So let's see what happens. The roll is a 110, and 101 to 450. The batter is out. We go catcher to first base. All runners advance. It's a sacrifice hit. Nice job by the young Nick Allen, who is no longer. We're going to go 2-3 on the sacrifice. And he goes to third. Allen no longer with the Bravos. So we get a runner at third base with one out. So excellent job of situational baseball. Ronald Acuna to the plate. He is 1 for 1 with a triple and a walk. This is going to come off Acuna's card, an 891 against a righty is a single, and that's going to be a blooper down the left field line. So that's going to score a run. He'll come in from first or from third. So we get the RBI. Ronald runs at a 1. Our left fielder is Ramos. He's not great at getting to balls. So basically, we would have the same thing. I think I messed up that last one. I messed up this one going to second base. But the deal is you compare the runner and the outfielder. -8 for Ramos, +1 for Acuna. So we need to look at the outfield arm chart. But I read the wrong one, so I need to take his outfield arm into account. He's a +3. So it would be a 361 to 540. He's out. And that's was about 18% chance of throwing him out. Ronald's going to take that chance because he's aggressive. And so we're going to go with that. He's going to try for second base. 511. You can see here, 511 falls into 361, 540. Ronald goes for second. Elliot Ramos with the peg, and that's going to be an out as he gets gunned down. So that's a single with a 7, we'll call it 7-4 fielder's choice, and that's going to be out number 2. So Ronald does get the RBI, but he gets thrown out trying to stretch a single to a double going on Elliot Ramos. So big time there. For Matty Olson, bases are cleared. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles, an RBI, and a run scored. We need 9 here. We need to look. And so against lefties, he's a -3. Against righties, he's a +4. So 1 to 11 goes to Matt Olson. It's a 9. 613 off of Olson's card against a righty is going to be a strikeout off of the batter card. So Matty Olson goes down for the first time in the game. The Braves do tack on another run. They lead by a score of 5-1. So hopefully you can see as the game plays out that it just sort of makes baseball sense as we go along. And I've tried to create a game that flows right with the game of baseball. It feels like you're watching the game play out, and every move that the players are making makes sense in a baseball sense. All right, bottom of the 4th inning, it is 5-1 Braves over the Giants. Giants looking to do some damage here. It's Elliot Ramos, then Wilmer Flores, and Luis Matos. Ramos flied out to right in his first at-bat. He is going to, -6 +1. So this is going to go off Chris Sale's card, 168. Against a lefty is another fly ball. 434. Fly ball is to left field and caught by the left fielder. So he flies out to Jerks and Profar. Profar makes the catch, and there's one down in the inning. Flores was a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. Flores against lefties, 670 OPS, does a better job against righties. This comes off Sales card, 905. That's going to be a hit off the batter card. 605 against lefties is a single, and that is a little blooper, a Texas leaguer into center field. Now, this is an instance where you could roll to see if there's an error on the center fielder. There's no error on the play. I typically don't remember to do that, but you could certainly do that. Now, Wilmer Flores steals at a -1, but again, the battery is a -5. So -1 +5 is a 4, which is a pretty good opportunity to steal. 101 to 980. Bottom of the order up. Let's go ahead and try to steal with them. So Matos is going to be taken off. There's a whole taking a lead and doing a pickoff, and if you're playing solo, you don't choose those things necessarily. You can do those automated. If you're playing one team against the other, then you could choose, do I want to take this kind of lead? And then you would roll for the pickoff, or the automated lead happens, and then you could decide if you want to throw a pickoff throw or not. So there is a system for that. That's a little bit more complicated and complex. I don't typically do that. And wouldn't you know it, Wilmer Flores takes off. He has the 101 to 210 is safe. He rolls a 100, and the throw arrives just ahead of Wilmer Flores, and he gets caught stealing. So it's almost a done deal, but not a done deal. So good throw from Baldwin. Good job by Chris Sale holding them just long enough. And Wilmer Flores is out. He thought he had it, but review shows he was out. And coach says, nope, not going to review this one. And we go on to Luis Matos. So it's Chris Sale. 699 against a righty is a strikeout. So Chris Sale feeling it with another strikeout. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5K so far. 3 outs. It wasn't a 3 up, 3 down inning, so we're not going to give him that boost, but he doesn't go anywhere for the strikeout. So it'll be Riley, Ozuna, and Albies against Logan Webb here in the top of the 5th. It's 5-1. Good guys. Austin Riley's going to control this at bat. A 333. All right, so now we got it. 333. And on the initial roll, so we have the pitcher batter roll. On this initial roll with the play, if we have a 3 of a kind, that's going to lead to a highlight play. So we look at this, and we look at 333 for Riley against a right-handed pitcher. 333 falls into his line drive range. So we need to look at a highlight play against his line drives. And when you know, I don't have my highlight plays here with me, so let me look it up online. All right, so I have my highlight plays here. And you can see they're broken out into line drives. And if you were to print this all out, fly balls, line drives. So they're broken out into the different types of plays that you would get off the card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll my dice, and you won't be able to see the dice, but you can hear them. It is a 137. And we look down here, 128 to 147. Hard line drive to left. The left fielder, sprints to his right and dives. He caught it. So if less than 2 outs, the runner on third tags up and scores. This is the first batter of the inning. So Riley with a low line drive, and it's Elliot Ramos playing Superman out in left field as we're going to go L7 on the put out. So terrific diving catch on a line drive to left field. So there's lots of different plays here that come up for highlight plays, and line drive to left, caught. All right, so we're back at field level, and that's out number 1. So that's how those plays work. Highlight plays happen again after you decide pitcher or batter, that first D1000 roll, and then you take whatever. So there's 10 chances there, obviously, and so you would look and find what range it falls into. So if you had an 888, that would have fallen into the single range. Highlight plays, I don't think there are any highlight plays for hits, but definitely for the different types of outs, walks, hit by pitch, etc. So those are broken out very clearly on the highlight play sheet. If you get into the strikeout range or the walk range, that's where you get things like wild pitches and weird strikeouts where the player strikes out, but then it gets away from the catcher, and there could be an error on there. It could be all kinds of different things. And on the highlight plays, that's also where you're going to get some of these things come into play. So the foul territory, it could be a pop-up behind the plate. It could be something hit down the line. So that the area behind the plate comes into play. So if it's a lot of foul territory behind the plate, you'll sort of roll to see if it goes into the stands foul or if it's a catch, and same thing down the lines. So every ballpark is different in that way. And I use the data from the Clem's ballpark pages, which are super awesome. If you ever just want to learn more about all the ballparks, you can look that up. It's Clem, CLEM. So Clem's Major League Ballpark pages, but it gives you, that's where I get all of the data. I get the little diagram, and you can even click through and you can see how the field has changed over the years. It's super awesome. It's a really great database of information, so I use that pretty heavily. All right, Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna is 1 for 2. He had a home run back in the first. Logan Webb against a right-hander. Against Ozuna, he's going to be a 1-6. Ozuna will be a 1-6 to control. So this comes off the pitcher. 7-10 will be a walk against a righty. So another walk from Logan Webb. That's is that walk number 2. Looks like he's going to go all the way down to 5. So Webb, a little bit of a troubled start here. He's given up 5 runs. He's got a couple of walks. He had a rough first inning. Has righted the ship just a little bit, but Ozzie Albies up with 1 on and 1 out. Webb and Albies are even Steven, so 1-10 is going to be off Albies' card. It's an 8. A 478 against a right-hander is going to be a line drive. So Albies gets good wood on it. He hits a liner to left field, and let's see if it's caught. 380, that is going to be caught in the air. So we'll go L7. A couple of good plays out there by Elliot Ramos. And we need to check and see what happens on the play. How deep was it? What is our player movement on line drives? We'll check and see if it's even worth rolling. So we have a line drive to the left fielder, runner at first base. So there's a small chance that the yellow happens and you'll be able to choose. Even if I get that, I'm not going to let Ozuna try to go to third or to second base. So we'll just go to Jerks and Profar. So there's no need for me to roll. I know if I get the choice, I'm not going to do that. Logan Webb to Profar. It's a 1-9 for Profar. So 151 off Webb's card is a ground ball. Ground ball to 304 is a ground ball to second base. It's picked up, and let's check out what happens on the play. Again, with runners on, you should always roll off this chart. Ground ball at first base. There's opportunity for all save here and some other things going on. So we do have 2 outs, 321. 4-3 put out. The runner would advance, but there's 2 outs, so it doesn't matter. So 4-3 on the put out. That's easy to resolve. All right. Because sometimes the play is to second base, and it's like semantics, or, it's about narrative flavor. Okay. 3 down. The Braves are out of the 5th. The Giants are going to send up Bailey, Schmidt, and Lee here in the bottom of the 5th. They're down by a score of 5-1 against Chris Sale. Patrick Bailey with a single and a run scored in his first at bat. He is going to get a hit off of his card. So a 9-10 is a hit off of Sale's card. So a hit goes to Bailey. A 768 against a lefty is going to be a double. And that's going to be a line drive off the right field wall as he rings one. Off the right field wall, batting right-handed. And that'll be a 2-bagger for Patrick Bailey. Sorry, give it to the wrong guy. We'll leave that up here. Maybe Baldwin hits double. Casey Schmidt to the plate. Schmidt, not a strong hitter against lefties, 196 average, 601 OPS. We're going to ask him to bunt as well. Jung-Hoo Lee is up next. So we'll ask Schmidt to bunt. We have our sack bunts here. A 130, same thing. Catcher to first base, all runners advance. So nice bunt out in front of the plate. We'll say 2-3 on the sack hit. That'll be out number 1. And he goes to third on the sacrifice. Top of the order with Jung-Hoo Lee, and the Giants are going to get a couple of cracks at this one with a runner at third base. So let's see if they can bring him in. 2 is going to go off of Lee's card. A 966, that could be really good. In fact, a 962 to 979 is a triple, and a 2 on a triple is a dive and a catch missed by the left fielder. So Profar has misplayed a couple of balls out there, a little excited, and that's going to wind up a triple for Jung-Hoo Lee, who drives in the run from third base, and it's now 5-2. So he slides in safely. Profar, a good chance at it, but a little risky out there, as they wind up with a triple and now have a runner at third again with only 1 out. For Willy Adames. Adames against lefties is a 0. So he's a 1-4 to control. 447 for Chris Sale against a righty is a strikeout. As Sale, unhappy with the 2 runs that have come across. Not happy with his left fielder, probably. But you appreciate the effort, but boy, you got to come up with that. An 11 to Rafi Devers. That'll come off the pitcher as well. 518. 518 to a lefty is another strikeout. So Chris Sale with back-to-back Ks. Bears down. And turns that runner at third base. So we get 1 in. It's now 5-2. Braves over the Giants as we head to the top of the 6th inning. Going to leave Webb out there. Let's see if he can get through the inning. He'll be facing off against Baldwin, Harris, and Allen, bottom of the order. Hopefully he can give his manager a little bit here. 169 against the lefty is going to be a ground ball, so it won't be a double. 942 is a grounder to third base. And we have a 444. On the error, I don't have any sort of 3 of a kind, so it just goes all the way to the player finder. So I've checked that before in my notes, and there's no error that I've added. But as a general rule, you should just always be paying attention to a 3 of a kind. 444 is a good pick, and a 325 is a good throw. So we'll go 5-3 on the putout, and that'll be out number 1. So Drake Baldwin bounces to the third baseman. It's Chapman. Chapman, a good fielder. Mike Harris on the play. A 4 is going to go to Michael Harris. 223 against a righty is going to be a grounder. Logan Webb doing it to it with the ground balls. That's a grounder to short. Good pick at short, and a good throw. So a couple of grounders to the left side, and we're down to 1 on Logan Webb's stamina, trying to get through the 6th inning, got through it. He's given up 5 runs so far, all earned. And tough day, tough start here to the series, but they're within striking distance, 5-2. We'll see if he can get Nick Allen out. Nick Allen with a sacrifice hit in his last at-bat. 14 is going to come off of the pitcher. 730 against a righty is a walk, and that's tough. So we're going to go for a walk. Takes them down to 0. We're going to have a mound visit. And so the mound visit will give us a +1. Nick Allen at first base, not a huge threat to steal. This comes off of Webb's card against Acuna, a 0-21. And the reason we do the mound visit is to give him an opportunity to control the at-bat. He will control the at-bat, so this comes off of his card as opposed to coming off of Acuna's card. So 21, this is going to be a ground ball. It would have been the same thing off of Acuna's card, but you just can never tell, right? So you want to give them that opportunity to sort of get in there and have the plays come off of, especially a really good pitcher like him. So 158. 158 on a ground ball is going to be hit to the first baseman. 535, 534, the first baseman is Devers, so he's going to make the catch, and a little toss or run to first base. We'll call it a toss, and that'll be out number 3. So the runner is stranded. No run scores there. That takes Logan Webb back down to 0, and we'll be replacing him for the 7th inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. Chris Sale's still looking good. He's got 10 on his stamina, and he's feeling good so far. Let's see if he can keep it up against the heart of the order, Chapman, Ramos, and Flores. Chapman is 0 for 2, grounded into a double play and popped up. A 12 will come off of Sale's card. 966 is a hit. And when we look on the batter card, an 8-10 against a lefty, that's going to be a double. As Matt Chapman, a ground rule double to right center field as he hit that one high and deep, and it bounces over the wall. And so that's going to be a 2-bagger as he rolls up into second base. So leadoff double for Matt Chapman. He's now 1 for 3. Brings up Elliot Ramos. Ramos, a couple of flyouts in this one. A 9 is going to go to Chris Sale. A 190 against a righty is a fly ball, so he'll hit another fly ball. 363 will be a fly out to left field. Let's see if we make the catch. He does. So that's a fly to left. We'll see about depth and whether the runner tries to advance or not. So we get a fly ball to left field. It's a 262. The runner is at second base. So we're here. You can see with runners on the corners, there's a lot more where the runner is going, or it's your choice. Hit to left field, and you have guys on first base or second base or first and second. That play is in front of them, so there's a lot more holds that go on over here. Hit to the when you have guys in scoring position, it's a little bit different. So you have better chance to sacrifice flies, obviously, when players are on third. So second base, it's a 262. That's here. Second base, that's going to be my choice to advance the runner or not. We got to look at our left fielder. Our left fielder is Profar. His arm is a 6, so that's what we're going off of. His range doesn't really matter because he's already cut the ball, right? So that doesn't matter as much. It's when you're running to the ball that range should come into play. So when you just catch the ball on the fly, his arm is all that matters. It's not strong. A -6. Matty Chapman runs at a +2, so that's a given to me. He's going to try. This is a deep fly ball to left, and he's going to try to get over there a 31 to a 100 since his arm is less than 6. So 31 to 100, he'll be out at third. It's a 126, and so 126 falls into the red. That means safe, as he's in there just ahead of the throw. So with the play in front of him, he says, I can make that on that arm. And he moves up on the throw. So productive out for Ramos, who hits one deep to left field. Gets the runner to third base with 1 out. Wilmer Flores. This will come off Chris Sale's card. 239. 239 against a righty is a fly ball. So another fly ball, this time with a runner at third base. That might change the equation. 429. That's going to be a fly ball to left field. So again, does he make the catch? He does make the catch. So again, we need to check our runner advancement. If it's green, we have to roll for the play at the plate. 601 with a runner at third. 601 falls here into the yellow. That's going to be our choice, the gamer's decision. Again, on a fly ball, it's the same matchup against his arm. So we're going to go. That's deep enough. We're going to try. -6 for Profar's arm puts us here. 31 to 100. Be out at the plate. Matt Chapman running on Profar again. A 150. And so the play is close, but ultimately he is going to be safe as the Giants manufacture a third run. So fly ball to left, and we'll call that a sac fly as he gets enough of it to get out there. And Chapman on the sacrifice fly is going to come home. So it's now 5-3. You can see that base running and fielding is where the game starts to slow down some, but it's also where the most realistic parts come into the game. Not the most realistic, but it's actually very realistic. So we have Luis Matos to the plate. Matos is a 1-4 to control. It's a 5, so this is off of Sale. 0-0-6 is a grounder. There's nobody on base, but 2 outs. Grounder, 232, almost a 3 of a kind. That would have led to a range check if it was 222. 232 on a grounder is going to go to second base. Does he make the catch? 288, he does. And Ozzie with the throw over to first for the third out. So the Giants do scratch off another run. It's now 5-3 as they are slowly but surely climbing back into this one. And we go to the top of the 7th. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Bravos, and for the Giants. Let's see who that is. All right, and into the game is going to be Tyler Rogers, one of the Rogers brothers. He's replacing Logan Webb. Webb goes 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks. He's on the hook for the loss right now as they're down by a score of 5-3. To the Bravos, Rogers -2 against lefties, -2 against righties, so pretty even. He's going to be facing Olson, Riley, and Ozuna, so I wanted to make sure we bring in somebody who can match those guys. They all hit pretty well against right-handed pitching, so we'll just have to see. Olson is 2 for 3. He's got a couple of doubles, a run scored, and an RBI. And this comes off Rogers' card. 049 will be a grounder. He's kind of a ground ball specialist here. Anything 1 to 423 against lefties is a ground ball. Has 157. That'll be a ground ball to second base. 449. Good pick. And the throw is 250. That's going to be a good throw from the second baseman. So 1 out. And it will be Austin Riley to the plate. Riley 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He's a 1-8 to control, so it's off the pitcher, but a 967 is going to come off the batter card. That'll be some sort of hit from Riley. A 690 against a right-hander is going to be a double as Riley hits a fly ball off of the center field wall. Almost cranks it out of here. And that will be 2 bags for Austin Riley. He's now 1 for 4 as he got every bit of that one. Just missed a home run. Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna, even Steven with Rogers. And so this comes off his card, 964. That's trouble. 964 is going to be a home run potential. Line drive into the stands in left center field, and the big bear with the big fly. So he hits a line drive missile into the left center field stands, and man, he got all of that. That's a deep home run at Oracle Park. And Ozuna now with 2 dongs on the day. He's got 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 3 and has a walk and 2 runs scored. So the Braves now up 7-3 as they put a little distance between themselves. Rogers is going to control this at bat. 153 against Ozzie. 153 against a lefty is a grounder. 545, that'll be a grounder to short. And 175, possible error on the play. So our shortstop is who? Adames. His error rating is a -2. and a 165 to 212. So that is going to be an error as things go from bad to worse for the Giants. Willie Adames with an E6, and that's going to take him down to a 0. We'll leave him in there to face Profar. Profar 0 for 3. He's left-handed here, as he'll be even Steven with Tyler Rogers. 771. 771 is going to be a walk. He is right-handed. Been a strikeout, but as it is, it's a walk. And I think that's the end of the day for Tyler Rogers. Oh, sorry, 771. Yeah, that's a walk. We have to go off of the batter card at that point. So Profar draws a walk. Let me put you on hold as Rogers has wet the bed here, and we're going to bring in a new pitcher. All right, so Spencer Bivens is going to come in and relieve Tyler Rogers. 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs so far. He's on the hook for 2 more, and 1 walk and no strikeouts. So Bivens, a 1 and a -2, -2 against righties, but a -1 against lefties. So that's going to be 1 to 12 for Drake Baldwin. It is a 12. 622 against a righty is a strikeout. So it doesn't strike out much, but Bivens gets him, and that's out number 2. Strikeout keeps him there. It'll be Money Mike Harris to the plates. Mike is 2 for 3. He's got a home run and a double, 2 runs scored. A 2 is going to come off of his card. A 0-12 will be a ground out. That ground ball goes to second base. Potential error on the play, 140. The second baseman is Schmidt. He's a -2. And a -2 has an error on a 165 to 212. So he's going to make the catch. And because there are 2 runners on, we got to check out what the base running situation is. So we'll roll. 0-31 could be something kind of crazy with runners at first and second. A 0-31 to 100 is a 4-6 put out. A little dicey. It was almost all safe. So we're going to go 4-6 on the put out as he goes the short way and gets that runner Profar at second. So 2 runs come in for the Braves. It's now 7-3 as Mike Harris grounds out to second base on a tough play. 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're going to keep Chris Sale out there, see if he can get through 7 and help his team out. He'll face off against Patrick Bailey, and then is it Chris Schmidt? What's his name? Casey Schmidt and Jung-Hoo Lee. So Sale against a right-handed batter is a -6 and a -1, so 1 to 3 for the batter to control. 806 will be a hit some sort. 639 will be a single, and that's a little blooper down the left field line. So Patrick Bailey dumps one into left field. He's 3 for 3 with a couple of singles and a double. Not going to try to advance him to second base. Casey Schmidt, they need runners on the bags. Casey Schmidt to the plate. This is off the pitcher, 646. Against a righty is a strikeout. So Chris Sale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Ks for Chris Sale in this one. Jung-Hoo Lee. 771. And that will be off of Lee's card. 771 against a lefty is a single. So 770 to 943. That's going to be a base knock as Jung-Hoo Lee with a ground ball into left field. And that's going to be another hit for him. So a couple of hits on the day. That will send the runner to second base, Bailey. I don't think he's going to be going, but we'll check. First to third, San Francisco is aggressive. So going first to third, we're using this aggressive chart. The ball's hit to left field, and the runner is a -2. So that puts us here. Left field, that's going to be a hold. So Patrick Bailey will hold up, and we got runners at first and second base for Willy Adames. Willy Adames, this come off his card, 283 against a lefty, will be a fly ball. He hits that one to the shortstop. So popped up to the shortstop, 303 is no error. Going back on it is the shortstop, Nick Allen. He'll make the catch. And that's out number 2. Runners do not advance on a pop-up. All right, Rafi Devers to the plate. Devers, this is off of sales card 039. That's going to be another ground ball. And 750, that will be grounded to the third baseman. That's Austin Riley. 057, possible error on Riley. Riley is a -2, so no error on the play as he makes the catch. And let's see what happens on the play. We got a 9-15, maybe a crazy play. 9-15 with runners at first and second is here. That's going to be a 5-4 putout as he goes the short way. And with 2 outs, that is how this one will end. So the Giants strand 2 runners in the 7th. We go to the top of the 8th. It is 7-3. It'll be Nick Allen, then back to the top of the order with Acuna and Olson. We'll leave Bivens out there in the moment. Righty. This is going to be a 1-7 for Nick Allen to control. So 0-30 is a grounder, and that goes to the third baseman. Good play at third as you get the pick, and the throw is also good. So 5-3 on the putout. Nick Allen now 0 for 3, 0 for 3. Go to Acuna. Acuna is 2 for 3. Got a single, a triple. Run scored. He's got an RBI. There's an RBI there on that single. And he will control the at-bat. A 9-16 smells like trouble against a righty. 9-16 is going to be a double. As Acuna, with a ground rule double to left center field, as that one hangs up, bounces over into the stands, and that is a stand-up double for Ronald. Ronald playing well. He's got 3 hits on the day. 1 homer shy of the cycle. Don't know if he's going to get back to bat, but Bivens is going to control this at bat against Matty Olson. A 305 against a lefty is a fly ball. 256, the fly ball to left. That is caught in left field. That'll be out number 2. Let's see about the runner advancement. So again, Acuna runs at a +1, fly ball to left field with the runner at second base. There's some auto ones here, so I want to make sure I roll that out to 26. That is my choice because it's in the yellow, and I'm going to hold Ronald up there. So no advancement on a fly ball to left field. Riley to the plate. Riley will control this at bat. 179 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. That one goes out to center field and caught in center field. No need to check the runner advancement as that is the 3rd out of the inning. So The Braves strand a runner at second base. Good job by Bivens to come in and put out the grease fire that was happening with Rogers. So we can close the book on Rogers, by the way. So that's 2 runs he gives up. And a third of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. All right. We got options here for Atlanta in the bullpen. Let's go to them. So I'm going to take Chris Sale out of the game at 7 innings, and we'll bring in a couple of relievers here to end the game. All right, into the game is going to be Pierce Johnson, the righty, with the spinner. He's got a very good curveball and throws it about 75% of the time, seems like. He's also good. He throws at 98, so it's not like he doesn't have a fastball. He just gets people off balance with that spinner. He'll face Chapman, Ramos, and Flores. You can see he's a -4 against right-handed batters, but a 0 against lefties. 266 FIP in 2025 against right-handed batters, 31% K percentage to a 2% walk percentage, 0.94 WHIP. In comparison, 1.59 WHIP against lefties. So holds them mostly to fly balls when they get hits, but that 30% K percentage is pretty high. So he's going to face off against Chapman, Ramos, and Flores. Chapman is going to be a 1-7 to control this at bat. It's a 14. It wanted to be a 6, but it rolled over to a 14. 943 is going to be off of a hit off the pitcher card, and a 407 against a righty is a single. That's a blooper down the right field line as he catches one of those curveballs off the end of the bat. Chapman, because it's down the right field line, he runs at a 2. Ronald Acuna is a -8 out there with his range and his arm. If he decided to run, it would be on the outfield arm, and it would be a 101 to 210. We're just going to go right off of the reputation alone, and Chapman's going to stay at first. The numbers, 0 is an average arm. People don't think that about Ronald, but he wasn't at his 100% last year, but his arm was quite good. So we'll see. You could run on him, mostly because he couldn't get there very well. -8 on his range was because he had a bum leg still. Elliot Rodriguez Ramos with a man at first base. I'm not going to run also because they need base runners, right? You don't need to get thrown out at second base in the 8th inning. So Elliot Ramos to the plate. He is going to be a 1-8 control. 749 against a righty will be a walk. So just into the walk range as he just misses off the plate. And that's 2 runners on, and not a great start for Pierce Johnson. So with Flores coming to the plate, he is 1 for 3. Got 2 runners on. A 3-run homer here changes the entire complexion of the game. 15, this is going to go to Pierce Johnson's card. 656 against a righty. He is into his strikeout range, and he gets him. Out number 1. Matos to the plate. Luis Matos, 0 for 3, a couple Ks. This comes off the pitcher card. 852 is going to be a hit of some sort. What does Luis Matos do? 270 will be a single. This is a line drive into center field. Played on a hop by Mike Harris. Let's see what they are. San Francisco going second to home is normal. So we check our base running charts. Second to home, normal. Matty Chapman is a 2. So he's here. So it's our choice whether to send him home or not. Base hit. Mike Harris is a +5. So 5 is greater than 2, so we would have to use the base running chart, but 2 is still pretty good, as we see here. 101 to an 840.
So was a almost 75% chance of being safe at the plate. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to try to score the run, put a little pressure on him. So Matt Chapman coming around, and we're looking at the base running. So 101 to 840, he'll be safe at the plate. Oh, no. Mike Harris, Money Mike with the peg to the plate of 0.74. Bam. So you can see here 74 in the red. Red means out, and he gets Matt Chapman at the plate. Chapman can't believe it. He is thrown out. That's 8-2 on the putout. And now we got to check out the trail runners to see if they scored or not. So on their trail running, San Francisco is normal. So trail runner here is a -1. So that's going to be a hold on a throw to home. So if he doesn't go, the guy behind him doesn't go. So you just figure that out. And so, bam, big time play. That's going to send Pierce Johnson down to a 0. He'll face off against Patrick Bailey, who is 3 for 3 on the day. He's got a couple of singles and a double. Bailey batting left-handed. He is going to be a 1-9 to control. So this is off his card, 795 against a righty. 795 is a hit by pitch. That's going to load up the bases. For Pierce Johnson and Casey Schmidt to the plate. Let's bring in Mike Yastrzemski, lefty killer, and then that'll tick off Tyler Fitzgerald to the plate. So Yaz comes to the plate as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. He is going to be we don't need any of that stuff, but his running is a 0 and a 2. So we might need that. Pinch hitter for Casey Schmidt. Things getting dicey. Against a righty, Yastrzemski is a +1 as a left-handed batter. He's hitting left-handed. And Pierce Johnson will not control this at bat, so it doesn't really matter. Don't even need that. 234 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. There are 2 outs in the inning. That's important to know. 7:53. That fly ball is out to center field. Mike is under it. Possible error on the play, as Mike Harris is a +6 on his errors. So 1-17 is an error, and he is going to make that catch for out number 3. As Pierce Johnson induces a pinch hit fly ball out, and that's going to be the end of the inning. The Giants strand the bases loaded. They get one guy thrown out at the plate. They strand the bases loaded and are kicking themselves in this one. So coming into the game is going to be Tyler Fitzgerald. Let's bring him in, and he'll take the second base spot. So Fitzgerald, he comes in the 4 in the 9th inning. He is a -2, -18, and a 1. Sorry, that's not right. 0, 7, and his double play rating is a 0. So much better. I was looking at Jung Hoo Lee. Okay, but it'll be back to the top of the order, and still 7-3 here. And let's get one more pitcher in. Let's go with Randy Rodriguez. Try to keep things close here. So let's see how I do all this. He's a righty. He can stamina's 4, so we'll reset. And 1.2 innings. He gives up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 K. And it'll be Randy Rodriguez into the game to face off against Ozuna, Albies, and Profar. Rodriguez against righties is a -2. Ozuna is a +2, so they're even Steven. 341 off of Ozuna's card is a line drive as he hits it hard to right field and caught in right field for the out. So a liner to right is out number 1. Good catch out there by the right fielder, who is that? Matos. Albies to the plate. Albies is 1 for 3, 1 for 4. Let's do this roll here. A 20 comes off of the pitcher. 392 against a lefty is going to be another line drive as they're getting good swings. 631 is a liner to center field, and that will be caught as well as the ball ringing all over the ballpark, but right into the gloves of the San Francisco Giants. 2 quick outs for Randy Rodriguez. No, that should be down to a 2. 18 comes off of Rodriguez's card. He's quite excellent, about a 240 FIP for the year. He only pitched in, about 50 innings. So excellent pitcher, especially against lefties, which he'll be facing a lefty here. So -4 to a +2. So that makes him a Profars of 1 to 8 to control. It's off of the pitcher's card. 621 against a lefty is a strikeout. So he ends his day with a K and a 1-2-3 inning for Randy Rodriguez as he shuts down the Braves in the top of the 9th inning. One more half inning to go. The score is 7-3. Braves are up. They're going to send in Dylan Lee to finish this one off. Lee, a lefty, can go 4 batters. He'll come in here, and I'll figure out all the totals when we get to the end. So Dylan Lee will face off against Jung-Hoo Lee and Willy Adames and Rafi Devers. A couple of lefties in there in the mix. Lee, excellent against lefties or righties. He's got a killer slider and throws it up there about 95. So from the left side, an excellent pitcher. Against lefties, he's a -3. Jung-Hoo Lee is a +1, so that makes -2. So 1 to 8 to control. This is off the batter. 756 against the lefty is a walk off of Lee's card. So Lee on base yet again. He's got 2 hits, and he's got a walk, and he's been on with the fielder's choice, so on 4 times. Willy Adames to the plate. 2, that's going to be off of Adames's card. 763 as they're getting good swings off of Dylan Lee. 763. That'll be another walk. Seeing it well. 2 walks. Really bad. We're going to go out and we're doing a mound visit as he faces off against Rafi Devers. This one getting tight. 2 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th inning. We get a 6. 6 is going to go off of Devers' card. 802 smells like trouble. It is. That's a base hit. And that hit is a blooper down the left field line. And that's a single. We're going to have to see about the runners. Lee runs at a 4. Second to home, the Giants are normal. So on a 4, second to home down the left field line, that's our choice. Our left fielder is Profar, who is a -14. -14 is definitely worse than Jung-Hoo Lee's +4, so that gives him an advantage. Profar's arm is only a 6, so we're going to force him to throw it home. And honestly, what I'm going to do, since Adames is a +1, I'm going to hold the ball. I'm going to let that run score. So we have this option to not make the throw. That's a terrible option for us to choose 31 to 100 to throw him out at the plate. So he's going to score on the single. And because we hold the ball and throw it into second base behind the runner, or I guess we throw it to third, we're going to hold this runner. These trail runners are going to stay, and that's the smart baseball play there. So we give up the RBI. There's really no chance at the plate to get Jung Hoo Lee, who runs at a 4, and Profar with a -6 arm. So he's just going to throw it into third base and keep those runners at first and second. Still sets up the double play, and it's only 7-4. So that's how you would play that, kind of play good, smart defensive baseball, right? Chapman to the plate. Chapman is going to be a 1-9 to control. So 761 off of the pitcher's card is another walk, and this is just getting ridiculous for the Bravos as they load up the bases. Dylan Lee, his walk percentage just about 5.5%, so this is very odd. Bases loaded at 7-4. I think we got to bring in Iglesias here to face Elliot Ramos. So Lee not doing well. And he'll come in here. So Lee gets nobody out. He gives up a run, a hit, and he leaves with the bases loaded. So not good. Let's see if Iglesias can turn the corner here. This is coming off of the batter, a 278. No need to pull the infield in just yet. 278 off of a right-handed pitcher is a fly ball. That goes to 311. So that's going to be a fly out to left field, Profar and left, 622. That's a catch. So we'll see. That's out number 1. Now let's see what happens on the advancement. You can see here bases loaded to left field. It's mostly the player going. 196 is here. That's green. Green means the player is going, so we need to do the play at the plate. So it's deep enough for him to go. Profar is a -6, and our player going home is a +1. So we're going to have to roll. It's a 31 to 100. You can see here on the outfield arm. And a 223 is going to be safe at the plate. 223 is here. That's in the red. That is safe. So it's deep enough to get the run home, and he will score on a sac fly. So that's a sac fly for Ramos. And let's see about the trail runners. Since the throw was to the plate, trail runners are normal, and at second base is a -1. Throw to home, it's our decision to send him to third base or not. Chapman is a 2. He's going to advance. He'll advance on the throw to third. We'll leave it. We'll leave that with Flores coming to the plate. I'm no particular Giants fan anyway. 2 runs are in. It's now 7-5. Flores to the plate. He will be a 1-9 to control. So it's off the pitcher. 312 against a righty is another fly ball. This one popped up to the second baseman. And 211, possible error on the plate. Just into the error range. Albies is a -3, and wouldn't you know it, that is a 165 to 212. Is an error. And that's going to be an E4 as the wheels falling off for the Braves, and that's going to give everybody 1 base. Bases loaded again, this time for Iglesias. Iglesias against Matos. Matos is 1 for 4. A 1-8 to control is the batter. This comes off the batter card. A 970 is trouble against a righty. Oh my gosh. 967 to 1,000. Luis Matos with the grand salami. And that's going to be a walk-off winner. Oh my gosh. You can't make this stuff up. Luis Matos on cloud 9 as he runs around the bases. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's in This guy is in. This guy is in. And let's see what the damage is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. And they're going to win this one by a score of 9-7. Oh, my gosh. And that'll be it. So Luis Matos with the walk-off winner. Iglesias, he's going to take the L in this one. Oh, my gosh. As the Braves snatch defeat from the jaws of victory in this one. Let me put you on hold, and we'll come back with all of the totals in this one. All right, so we finish this one up. Atlanta loses 9-7 on a walk-off grand slam from Luis Matos. Matos just a 739 OPS. Don't know how many home runs he had, but he slugged at a 433 against right-handers. Much better against righties and lefties. 7 runs on 11 hits, 1 error for Atlanta. 9 runs on 13 hits and 1 error for San Francisco. Neither starting pitcher figured into this one. 7 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, and 8 Ks. For Chris Sale, for Logan Webb, 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and 5 Ks as his team gets him off the hook. The loss goes to Iglesias. The win goes to Randy Rodriguez. Rodriguez comes in 1 run, no anything, 1 strikeout. For Iglesias, it's 0.1 innings pitched, 1 hit. That's the home run. He gives up 2 runs, 1 earned, as we had an error on Ozzie on a pop-up to second base. And then, bam, the home run drove in 4. So good game from Luis Matos. Matos 2 for 5 with 4 RBIs, a home run, and a single. Nice game from Patrick Bailey as well, as he was on all 4 times. He was 3 for 3, including a hit by pitch, and nice job by the bullpen. They gave up 2 runs, did the San Francisco Giants, but the bullpen for the Braves gives up 6 runs. And just a difficult one to swallow for Chris Sale, who pitched definitely well enough to win this one. But you get a sense of this game. My battery's running low on my camera, so I'm not going to extend this too much longer. But you can see how the game plays. You can see the depth at which it plays. A lot of this has been taken up with me explaining how the game plays. So, this video is quite a bit longer than it would normally take. Usually, regulation game is an hour and 15 minutes for me. Just depends on the pitching, right, and how many hits there are in the game. And so you get a full sense of the game in this one, and hopefully you go out and pick it up. It's only $12. I do that because there's a lot of things to print, and I try to really take that into account. I don't want you to I want you to save a little money so that you can buy new printing supplies, because it's going to take a little bit to print that out. Because these, even these team sheets here, you can print them all obviously in black and white, but they have the team colors here. So the primary and the secondary colors, that's for every team. And you get a color image of the ballpark. You can see this is the bay out here. And just a good look at the ballpark. You get all the lines and the wall heights. That comes in when you're robbing home runs. And then you have all of the plays here for the different types of hits. So you can print those out and have those ready to go. All of the player cards are in color. You can see there's not only the team color here, but you get a little bit of color here in these. The green is all the fielding. The purple is the running. You get the right-handed in red and left-handed in black. So there is some color to print in the game, as well as the the charts are in color. So you can get the charts here. So I try not to put too much color, but enough that it makes sense. These colors help you to discern aggressive, normal, cautious. These help you to discern, what is it? Is it the gamer's decision to stay? So you could quickly see those things on there and make decisions to kind of shorten the game up just a little bit. But and then here, if it's an error or not, you kind of get the Christmas red and green, which makes it really stark and easy to see. But it is some color to print out. Thankfully, you only need to print this once. Most of these charts and things you only need to print one time. The cards you'll obviously only need to print once, and you can print only the ones you need as you need them. So they come, I believe they come 9 to a page. So you can print out only the cards that you need for the teams. They're separated out by how many at-bats against right-handers or plate appearances against right-handers and how many innings pitched against right-handers. So that's the majority of the league. And so I figure that's going to separate the players out as you would need them. So the very first part of the team is going to be your players with the most games played against right-handers. And that's going to tell you most of what you need to know about your players. That's going to give you most of the batters who have the most plate appearances for the most part. So I tried to make that wise about going through and doing that, but I'm about to lose my phone, so I'll leave it there. If you haven't subscribed, click on subscribe. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, go to Facebook groups and join the Facebook group. You can purchase more this season and more seasons, more baseball games, more precision baseball seasons at clarkandedisongaming.com. All right, I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.